There are 4 reasons that every programmer should have a portfolio project, at least one. If you do not already have a portfolio project right now, you should start one. And in this video, I'll explain why. Number 1, hone your skills. When you're working on a portfolio project, you can take your time, experiment with new technologies, try different libraries, and really take your time to do it the way you want to do it, not the way your boss tells you to do it, and not the way you have to do it to get it done by a certain deadline. With a portfolio project, you can take your time and really make it just perfect. This gives you a chance to hone your skills and hone new skills and work with your tools. Instead of just whipping out the code, why don't you write a macro to help you write the code consistently every single time? So spend the time, write the macros, and make your work environment more conducive to your development of your portfolio project, and that will also improve your overall skills as a developer. Number 2, build a useful tool. When you're deciding what your portfolio project will be, choose something that you're passionate about, something that you're really interested in. That way the project will never get old. You'll be interested in not just building it, but then using it afterwards. This can be anything. If you're passionate about weightlifting, then build something that helps you track your weightlifting progress. If you're passionate about parakeets, then build something about what you think is interesting about your parakeets, whether that be their feeding schedule or their nesting schedule and how long it takes to hatch eggs, or whatever you're passionate about. Anything you're passionate about is worthwhile building a portfolio piece for, because probably other people will be passionate about, or at least you won't be bored working on it, and it'll be something that you could use all the time. If you're using it every week, then you'll start thinking, how can I make this better for my own personal use? And you'll slowly be improving your portfolio project over time until you might end up with something really cool. Number 3 reason you should have a portfolio project: monetize it. First, build it just for the sake of building it and for honing your skills and for building a tool that you yourself will use. After you have it working really well and bug-free, then monetize it, because you never know when you might just develop the next Twitter. Think about how simple Twitter is. You could build something and you might not make the next Twitter, but I knew somebody who built something that just helped storage shed managers manage their storage sheds. And he ended up having a recurring revenue stream of over $1,300 a month just from that software. So build your portfolio project and then monetize it. Not only will it potentially make you money, but learning how to monetize it is a valuable skill that you can then market yourself as having. Number 4, most importantly, a portfolio project helps you get a job. That's the most important reason to have a portfolio project. Think about it. If you're an artist and you go and you try to sell your art and somebody says, show me what your art looks like, and you don't have any art, you're not an artist. If you're a carpenter, then I would hope that you have photos of past carpentry work you've done, some woodworking you've done. If you're a programmer, you should have a portfolio project. I've hired 40 programmers over the 15 years of me running programming labs. And I'll tell you, I always look at their portfolio projects. I can tell more about a programmer by looking at his portfolio project, his or her, than by reading their resume and calling the references. The resume and references, just paper. That's just talk. I want to see their code. I want to look at the GUI aspects of it to see if they have taste, and then look at the actual code to see, do they indent properly? Do they have good naming conventions? Are their naming conventions intuitive? Are they consistent? You can learn so much about looking at the code that I insist anybody that I hire better have a portfolio. In fact, think about it from the hiring person's point of view. If you ask a programmer, let me see your portfolio, and they say, I don't have one, what does that tell you? Does it tell you that they're so green that they haven't done any coding, they're fresh out of college and they've never done anything? Or does it tell you that, or do they say, no, I've been programming for years, I just don't have any portfolio projects? So you code when you're paid by the hour, but as soon as the clock is off, you stop coding, you don't touch a computer, or at least you don't do any coding, and that is supposed to impress me? So you have no passion for your industry, you don't have any joy for your craft, you don't have any code that you're proud enough that you'd be willing to show me? Okay, then I'm not interested in hiring you. One more thing. When I'm examining somebody's portfolio project because I'm considering hiring them, I look at it very carefully. I test it to see if there's any bugs in it. And if I find bugs, then I realize that this person might deliver code to me that still has bugs in it, or to my clients. It's a major turnoff if I find any bugs in a portfolio. So don't show off your portfolio project to potential clients unless you have it working perfectly, or you tell them that it's a work in progress and you list off the things that are still on the to-do list. So I think it's critical that every developer has at least one portfolio project, preferably 2 or 3. And if you do, and you monetize them, they might become good recurring revenue. Another important reason why you should have a portfolio project is it's happened more than once to me when I show a potential client my portfolio project, and either they'll see it and they'll like what they see because it is a area that interests them as well, in which case that immediately builds rapport for you, or it happens to be something that they need in their business. In which case I've had more than once where they've said, oh my goodness, I like that portfolio project, but I would like to see all these different changes. Could you modify that code for my purposes? And then cha-ching, you're on the clock, hourly contract rates, modifying your own code, which should have perfect comments and indentation, but then charging them by the hour to use your code for their project. It's another great reason to have a portfolio project. I hope that makes sense. And if this has been helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I will be back for at least 2 videos a week showing you the business of programming. At Programming Labs, every video ends in a joke. So, a Mexican magician tells his audience that he will disappear on the count of 3. Uno! Dos! Poof! He disappeared without a trace. He disappeared without a trace. Have a great day.